Hello guys, welcome to today's bike check. Hope this interests you. So leave a comment if you have any questions. Let's start with the frame. This is the Evil Wreckoning from 220, the V3. It's an XL size frame. It's a full carbon frame, front and rear triangle. It's really stiff because it's only a two-part frame with a pivot, linkage driven single pivot design. So with the Delta link system which Evil develops, it's really nice to pedal. You don't always have to switch the clamp switch on the shock, and it feels really stiff. You see it here, the only pivot is huge, bearings are sealed, and it's really stiff, so nothing to complain about. Other thing I like, it's super boost, so it's a 157mm rear axle spacing, which allows it to have a really short chainstay, 430mm chainstay for XL size frame. Have nearly 500mm reach, but a really short chainstay, so this allows me to do all my kinds of endos, nose turns, stuff I like. The bike is really playful, it pops really nice on the trails, even with a coil shock frame. Also a lifetime warranty, and I think the color is pretty sick. It's a core reefer, matte core reefer. Looks a little bit different because of the wrap. It's an Invisiframe on it. It's a matte Invisiframe, so it is changed a little bit the color. You can see it here. It makes it a little bit more glossy with the wrap, but I would recommend it because it protects the frame, and when you do a lot of bike park and rough stuff, it's always nice to protect your frame. A nice thing about the shock, you see it here, it's a push 11.6 custom shock. The frame has 166mm of travel. I upgrade the suspension bolts you see here on the Delta system to Bergtech titanium bolts, to have a more durable setup, because the stock bolts are in aluminium, and this makes it more durable. This sums up pretty much the frame. It has internal cable routing, which is really nice. If you set up just the seat post, just push the cable through, it will come out here. Really easy to set up. Also with the same with the derailleur, just pop the cable here out, here in, it will come out here. So this is really nice on the frame, these little touches. I have nearly 64.3 degrees head angle with a 180 Fox 38 on front, so a pretty Freeride kind of setup. 180mm of travel in the front, 166 in the rear. It's a 29er, full 29er front and rear, which makes it really stable, and on the rough stuff it's really nice. It's really a monster truck feeling. In the front we have a Fox 38 upgraded with a little touch, which is really nice. Just here it's the four-sprung Secus upgrade. It's a negative air can which bolts on the air shaft of the Fox 38, which allows it to have a smoother, more sensible beginning of the stroke. So it's like a kind of coil feeling suspension. So on the first beginning of the stroke it feels like coil, and when it's muddy and you need a lot of grip, it's really nice, and you can really dig in the trail and find some grip where nobody can find some. So it's like a coil basically. It's really nice, but you keep the adjustment of the air pressure and the tokens and all the stuff you like on your air shock. On the rear I have the push 11.6 with the option with the switch, where you can have two shocks in one. So it's not a climb switch, it's more like two setup switch. You can have one bike park setup, which is here. So you have one compression, low speed compression, high speed compression setup here, and one here. So you basically have two different setups, and with the switch you switch between these two, and this allows you to have two shocks in one. So you can have an enduro setup, a race setup, or a bike park setup, and a trail setup basically. So this sums up on the suspension side. Then we have the drivetrain. So we have the SRAM GX Eagle aluminum crank on front to have something durable. It's a 165 crank combined with a 32 chainring. A Stamp 7 large pedals, flat pedal rider. It has a one-up bash guard and a built-in upper chain guide, which is really nice. Never dropped the chain with this bike, super nice. It also have these cushions here to keep the sound pretty low, and protects also the chain stays. The seat stays are also well protected here with some rubbers. It's really nice. whole rear triangle is one piece, heavy stiff carbon, short stay and stays, and never have to worry about anything flexing or breaking, which is really confidence inspiring. This is on the drivetrain. Then we have a cable actuated X01 derailleur with a 1052 cassette, which is really nice, gives you all the gearing you need, even for the really steep climbs. This is the drivetrain side. Now the brakes. I'm running the XTR brakes and calipers combined with the Magura MDRP rotors, 220 in the front and 203 in the rear. Really upgrades your braking power compared to the standard XTR brakes. So let's check the wheels on this build. So we have VR1 Union rims, 32 holes, SAPIM spokes, combined with the sick Industry 9 Hydra hubs. Super high engagement. The noise also is completely sick, which I love. Super nice when you have technical climbs, steep uphills. You don't have any play in your drivetrain, so immediately engages. The rims are mounted with Maxxis tires, DHR in the rear, Max Terra to have a more durable rubber, and the double down casing, which is really important. Never have a flat. Mounted tubeless, of course, with Koshcore in the rear. So we have a Koshcore insert in the rear tire. In the front tire, I'm running the Assagei with the max grip, so the more softer compound, with the double down casing to don't get any flats. Just to protect the rim, I put Chuck Norris tire insert to protect a little bit the rim when I run lower pressure. Handlebars and cockpit. So I have the desk grips combined with the 1-up stem and bar, running the 30mm rise, the 35mm stem. So last thing will be the dropper post. I run the 1-up 210, so I have 210mm of drop, which is really nice on this XL bike. I can lower the seat pretty much. I have a lot of space in my seat tube, so there is no clearance issues with this. And to have a nice seating position, I have put the saddle rails, the seat rails a little bit forward to keep a nice position on the bike, centered, and nice for the technical climbs I do. A fidlock bottle holder to don't have any bottle cage when it's not mounted, so it looks smooth. And a ProGuard Rapid Race product, ProGuard direct mount front mud guard, which is really smooth. You don't have any zip ties, and it protects the seals of the fork, which you can see here. It protects pretty much the seals on both sides, which is really nice to have a longer lasting fork without having issues with the mud in the fork. This sums up this bike test. Hope you enjoyed watching, and subscribe if you like this channel. I will try to post more videos of shredding Verbier. It's quite a nice spot to live, and yeah, nice bike to shred this quite steep terrain we have here, and really happy with it. So if you have any questions, drop a comment. I will be answering in no time, as soon as I can. Cheers guys, have a nice day.